Hello.
Hello, good morning, Lucas. How are you this morning?
Pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Hey,
That's good.
appreciate your time over here, and my deepest condolences on the passing of your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask you a few questions in regards to that, and we're going to record this and pass the information to a lot of people and make them aware in the hopes that we can save lives.
Yeah.
So I know this is going to be a difficult conversation, but just keep in mind that we're going to help other people with this, and hopefully that'll mitigate the pain. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions. Uh, I've heard that you're originally from Argentina. Is that true?
Yeah.
Very good. How long have you been in the United States?
It's been like 4 to 5 years.
Okay, great. Very good. And so jumping into the story of your brother-in-law, tell me a little bit of how this all happened.
Okay. So his parents got the COVID vaccine, right? And go get the COVID vaccine, and he didn't want to. For some reason, a week after his parents got the COVID vaccine, he got COVID. So he went to the hospital, and then the doctors gave him some medicine and told him to stay home, not do anything, just quarantine. And he didn't take the medicine that the doctor gave him. And after like another week, he had to go to the hospital again because he wasn't feeling very good. So they did like you say this. They went through his lungs, and they had 50% COVID each lung. So it was really bad. And they said that they were gonna, I don't know how to say in English. Is it like where they put him?
Tell me in Spanish, and I'll translate that.
Que lo entubaron.
Oh, so yeah, they intubated him, huh?
Yeah. And he didn't want to. He told his parents, they're like, no, I don't want to because I know if you do this, I'm not gonna go home again. So he knew he was gonna pass away, basically.
Oh my goodness. So let me ask you a question. So he went to the ICU unit? He was in intensive care?
Yeah.
Okay. And was there anybody with him, or could anybody visit him while he was in the hospital?
The first 2 days he had experience, but after that they couldn't.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So they on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we got the last message from him saying that he didn't want to be there because he knew that something bad was gonna happen. But his parents, they wanted him to do that because supposedly the doctor was talking to them and told him that that was the best option. So basically, they let him do that. Let the doctor intubate him, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, intubated.
Yeah.
So,
And then,
oh my goodness. So, he where he went was the IHC hospital here in St. George. Is that the one?
no, it was in Brazil.
Oh, it was in Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like, all the same protocols are being used in any hospital around the world.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we found out on Wednesday, that was the last time we heard about him, that the government of Brazil was giving $50,000 or $25,000 to the doctors, maybe because of COVID. I don't know if that helps with the information.
Absolutely. So they're given $24,000 per COVID patient in Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, so that's very common, a very common story here. We have learned that hospitals, when they get a COVID patient, they get federal tax dollars, and if they're intubated, they get an extra amount of money in the I think it's around $38,000 is what I've heard is what they get. So this is happening across the world. This is not just happening here in the United States, because the National Institute of Health has instituted the COVID care protocols for people that come into the hospital with, and they diagnose them with COVID pneumonia. Where it's a pneumonia, and they call it a COVID pneumonia, and now all these procedures are in place. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you happen to know if he was prescribed a drug called remdesivir?
What does that mean?
It's a drug that is called remdesivir. It's an antiviral, and it's also part of the protocol here in the United States and the hospitals. I wonder if Brazil is using the same.
They probably are using the same. I don't know if they did that to him, but most likely they probably do the same thing.
Okay, so how long was he in the hospital there in Brazil?
So they put him in the hospital on Tuesday. They intubated him on Wednesday, and that was the last time that we heard from him. After that, he stayed there for a week, and then by the time was going, he just started feeling worse and worse, to the point where his body stopped working. It was only his heart beating.
Oh, wow.
And a week after that, he just passed away.
So he was there a total of 2 weeks.
Yeah, a week and a half. Yeah.
A week and a half to 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry to hear this story. The way that we learned about this here was we have a talk show host. Her name is Kate Daly. She has a nationally syndicated talk show, but she is from here, from St. George, Utah. And she took her husband to the hospital because he had pneumonia. And she fought the hospital because they wanted to put him on this COVID care protocol with remdesivir. They wanted to intubate him, and they wanted to isolate him and everything else. And Kate fought the doctors and the nurses and the hospital and said, no, you're not going to put him on remdesivir. You're not going to intubate him. What I want is for him to be on a intravenous vitamin C drip of 20,000 international units, and then an IV of zinc, vitamin D3, and other things that is more of a natural protocol, but it includes some drugs as well, for him to be able to breathe correctly and recover from this pneumonia. And they had told Kate that he was going to be in the hospital for 12 to 14 days, and that they were likely to intubate him. And that's what she opposed. And so after fighting tooth and nail for her husband to be put on this natural treatment, or more of a natural treatment, she was able to pull him out of the hospital in 3.5 days, completely healthy. So, when I heard about your story, I was just distraught. I feel the pain. We feel like, there is a conspiracy in this world to put the whole world under lockdown, put everybody under treatment that only makes money for the people involved, and it doesn't benefit the patients. And as we can see, this has taken a death. Tell me a little bit about your brother-in-law. How old was he?
He was 27 years old.
Oh,
he had a baby with my sister when he was 22.
Oh, And and tell me, how is your sister doing? Is she in Brazil now, or is she elsewhere?
Yeah, they weren't together, but like they broke they end a relationship like um 43 years ago, something like that. But they will still like each other and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
It did hurt her
They had a good
because
relationship. Yeah, they still,
yeah,
well, they had a baby together too.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, what a tragic story to hear.
it is really sad, yeah.
Oh, I am
And
so sorry.
I even have the voice messages. They're in Portuguese, but I can translate them to you or send them to you. That he says that he doesn't want to be intubated because he knows that he's not at best, that he's not gonna live if they intubate him.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
was crying.
if you have the voice messages, I'd love to hear them, or you can play them, and I can translate them, or you can just play, send them to me, whatever is easiest for you. That would be great to include this in the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as my mom gets home from work, I'll send it to you.
Great.
Or I'll try to send it to me and I'll send it to you.
Wonderful. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, I think this story is going to help a lot of people realize, what trouble we're in as people, citizens of this world, and sons and daughters of God, and hopefully, give people some information they can arm themselves with, so they can avoid, being, because this is what's really happening. It's they're getting killed with a shot. So, there's a couple of things I want to recap it that just caught my attention that I didn't know. And one of them is he was coerced to get, right.
Yeah.
And then
he said he didn't want the kids to get the vaccine because that thing will kill him or stuff like that. Like he was doing research about it.
Right.
And he said that he didn't want to get it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then he had to take the vaccine because he was coerced by was it the job, his workplace?
Yeah.
And so he took it, and then he got COVID, and then he had to go to the hospital. So that's the series of events that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything else that we should let people know about this sad and tragic event, that could help people have more information to defend themselves against what's coming our way?
Well, I'm pretty sure people realize that going to the doctors and do what the doctors tell you right now is not the best option when you can actually heal yourself by doing other stuff and staying at home, taking a lot of vitamins, and doing like stuff, like instead of going to the doctor and let them intubate you and do the things that they told you at the hospital.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's plenty of treatment care that is non-invasive. There's ivermectin, there's vitamin C, quercetin. You can look up these protocols that are out there on the internet. You can talk to doctors. You can call the frontline doctors, and they'll give you some guidance. But there's enough information out there that we don't have to land in the hospital. Most likely, if we do take care of the symptoms early enough, and use the right medications and supplements, and there's just very little reason to go to the hospital anymore for this. And with a 99.7% survival rate, yeah, we don't want to land in the hospital if we can avoid it. I actually heard Dr. Judy Mikovits say that, they asked her, what should we do, if we go to the hospital? And she said, run the other way. So, yeah. So anyways, I don't know. Is there anything else that we should let people know in regards to this, or do you think we've covered all the major points?
That should be the story right there. If you want me to add something else, we can. But I really don't have nothing else about to say about the story of my brother-in-law.
Absolutely. Well, tell us his name. What was his name?
Luan.
Luan?
L-U, yeah, Luan. Luan.
Luan. Well, we'll keep your sister and your family in our prayers, and hopefully the story is going to help a lot of people. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for the information, and I look forward to getting the voice text. And we'll include them in this podcast as well, so that people know what is really happening out there. It's very courageous of you and your family to come forward with this. I appreciate it, and let me know. I'm always at your service. If I can help you in any way, please reach out to me, and we're always here to help.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and looking forward to those voice texts.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.